Ach so, you want to know if my theory uses a big E or a small e? Well, you've come to the right place. This is the Einstein Jacket episode, now on Danny and Denim.
It's 1935, and world-famous scientist, the man who discovered the fourth dimension and currently the best brain for understanding atomic potentials, Albert Einstein, flees the dangers of Europe for a safe haven in America. He steps foot in San Diego, California. He was trying to go unnoticed, but fans and the press showed up. Being a good sport, Albert did a quick interview. Then he headed over to a clothing store to fetch himself something from Levi's. Even as far back as the 1930s, Levi's was internationally known as the American brand. Albert wanted to embrace his new country by wearing its culture. He got the jacket, loved it, wore it on the Time magazine cover. A couple years later, his wife died. He wore the jacket for the rest of his life. Maybe she picked it out for him. Maybe she hated it. Einstein is quoted as saying, "Long hair minimizes the need for barbers. Socks can be done without. One leather jacket solves the coat problem for many years. Suspenders are superfluous." Colleagues would comment that he wore the same old leather jacket everywhere. There are plenty of pictures of him in the jacket, unfortunately no video. And there's also no evidence of Einstein wearing jeans, but I spotted him in a sweater that looks a lot like a Levi's sportswear sweatshirt. However you break it down, Einstein was smart enough to know that the best clothing items are the ones you can wear for life, and which you don't need to wash often. That's the way good clothes are supposed to be made. So be an Einstein and subscribe so I can continue to bring you reviews of the best clothing worthy of brain and body. Upon Albert's passing in 1955, the jacket was tossed into a box of his stuff from teaching at Princeton, where it sat for 60 years. Levi's had suspected that Einstein had a leather Levi's jacket, but they were never 100% sure or certain which one. They figured a Menlo Cossack from the 1930s. You can see from the 1995 film IQ, featuring the great Walter Matthau, that Einstein was rumored to have worn a leather jacket around Princeton. Once the LVC collection rolled around, the company made a few leather 1930s-style Menlo Cossack jackets and loosely referred to them as Einstein's. Then, in 2015, Princeton decided to throw Einstein's old box of crap onto the auction block. Once photos of the jacket dropped, superhero Tracy Panic spotted the Menlo label and knew this was a Levi's jacket. Thus, she flew to the auction and raised her paddle, going once, going twice, sold to Levi's for $105,000. It took a couple of months for the box to arrive in San Francisco. The smell of pipe tobacco from 60 years ago filled the lab. To share that experience, Levi's commissioned D.S. Durga to make a smoky scent. More about that later. You can see the real jacket. It makes the rounds on museum tours. Special guests to the Levi's Vault archives in Frisco get to see it up close. It's great that this piece has come home after its impressive journey. The fit is tricky because it runs a little small. I usually wear medium jackets. My type 1 is a medium and it fits me a little loose. I can say that I can't wear a small Einstein because the armpit to armpit measurement would be too tight. I can't go large because the belly is already baggy with the medium size. Honestly, it's leather, it can stretch, but I wouldn't do that with this. This jacket and most Menlo jackets will sit high, above the waistline. You can compensate by wearing historic style jeans that sit at the navel. The belly has a lot of room. The side straps don't do much. You get 2 tightenings with that. I didn't think it looked good on me until I undid the top button, and then I thought it looked pretty good once I folded the collar back and didn't button the top buttons. I've talked to 3 owners about this, and they've all gotten rid of it and are very unhappy with the overall fit. At first, I I thought it reminded me of the jacket from The Rocketeer, but it's just the color, completely different cut and details. There are 3 versions of the limited editions. The original is the brown. This is the one Einstein picked. This is based completely on the jacket, released in 2018. The following year, they made a black version. Same details as the brown, but in a jet black version. And in 2022, they've released the women's version. Another brown version. The color doesn't exactly match the other brown, but it's pretty close. It's a women's cut made from cowhide leather instead of the sheepskin leather that the other ones are made from. If they were going to do another version, I would have guessed they would have done a distressed reproduction like the Ox jacket. I would call the fragrance the jacket or this jacket, but they won't. Collection's done. Be aware that earlier editions exist with different details. They aren't the limited edition Einstein jackets made in reproduction of the item purchased at auction. The limited edition has buttons, no inside lining, and no cover flaps on the pockets. If you were buying an earlier Einstein, just be aware of these and you shouldn't be paying such a high price. If you are looking for a true Einstein, look for those details and the 1 out of 500 or 1 out of 250 for the women's limited edition number tag. This is made of a smooth yet thin sheepskin leather. You can see and feel the unfinished suede on the inside. There are 6 buttons going up to the collar. It's a Mandarin style collar. I'm not sure about that name, but buttoned up to the top, it does look like something you'd see at a Chinese restaurant. The buttons are the color of the leather, a thick plastic. However, the threads holding the buttons to the jacket seem a little loose. There are fastening straps with 2 notches on the waist sides, 2 side pockets, plus a smuggler's pocket on the inside. However, it's not a big one, and really the tags fold neatly into this, so you won't get much use out of it. Unless you want to cut off the tags, which I wouldn't recommend. If you do, then try to leave on the numbered limited edition. And let's not forget about the Levi's Menlo Cossack patch. This was the main clue to conclude that this was in fact a Levi's jacket. Well, for starters, you get this cool box. You can see the box image varies between the 3 variations. The brown is the basic, but in the black one they throw a mysterious black mask over his eyes. The women's has pink kisses. You open the box and wrapping the jacket is a tissue paper with the pattern of that particular Einstein on each. You get the auction paddle. This is a recreation of the paddle Levi's used at the Christie's auction to win, complete with the number 97. It tells a small story of the jacket. On one side, you get a photo, decent quality glossy print of Einstein wearing the jacket. In the black version, it has the mask. In the women's, there's a pink lipstick kiss on it. For the men's version, you get a DS Durga fragrance. His jacket for brown, whose jacket for black. I would have done her jacket for women's. His jacket for the brown has a smoky tobacco leather scent. If you want to replace it, then I recommend Burning Barbershops from DS Durga. DS Durga also makes room sprays. They call them Studio Juice. And this year, 2022, they released one called Leatherizer. This will give you that good leather scent if you want to add it to. I'll do a whole episode about DS Durga fragrances soon. Whose jacket for the black has a cleaner summer scent. I spoke to Sarah from DS Durga, and she recommended Radio Bombay or Mississippi Medicine. I like both of them. Mississippi Medicine is a clean summer scent, but with a sharp sting in the back of your throat, in a good way. For her jacket, which they never did, assuming they would have done one, I would have done something like DS Durga's Rose Atlantic. It's a flowery scent that kind of screams mother-in-law. I'm taking the letter from the paddle. Look out for the typo. This is a reproduction of the classic Levi's Menlo Cossack leather jacket worn by Albert Einstein. The original jacket was purchased around 1935, when Einstein had just moved to the United States and was in the process of becoming a citizen. Einstein was known for a minimalist wardrobe which kept his needs simple. Socks were unnecessary, long hair required little maintenance. This jacket solved his coat dilemma for years. On July 13th, 2016, Levi Strauss & Company placed the winning bid at Christie's auction house in London. As noted by Christie's, in addition to Marks, where the jacket also carried with a faint scent, Einstein was an incessant pipe smoker, and even 60 years after his death, his jacket still smelled of sweet pipe tobacco. In step with our dedication to authenticity, and with the help of Brooklyn-based perfume house DS and Durga, we recreated the scent of Einstein's jacket, a warm blend of burley pipe tobacco, papyrus manuscripts, and vintage leather. A bottle of his exclusive scent accompanies each jacket, along with a replica of the number 97 auction paddle that was used to bid on this historic garment. It's beyond cool that Einstein wore a Levi's leather jacket. To him, Levi's was the symbol of American freedom. Einstein is the symbol of intelligence. It should have smart and sexy written all over it, and in some way it really does. But let's do a quick pro and con list. Cons? The price and rarity of the item make it scary to actually wear. The mandarin collar is weird for most people. The fit is short yet baggy. The leather is delicate, not motorcycle strong, it scratches easily. It even scratches easily in everyday use. Pros. The leather has a creamy feel to it, top notch for fine quality leather. The items in the box are great for displaying, maybe for a storefront or a home or office collection. The fragrance is pretty dope, and you can't get it anywhere else. It's a DS Durga exclusive, and they haven't redone it. This jacket will hold its value more than any other LVC jackets. For those who want it, it's the absolute coolest thing. I didn't start this channel to convince you to buy or not to buy anything. I want to steer you in the right direction for you in the various 501 years. But in relation to this jacket, I think it's all about this incredible story. For me, it takes on an added level to being proud of being Jewish. Mr. Levi Strauss, Jacob Davis, and Albert Einstein were men who greatly influenced modern culture, and they all happened to be Jewish. They all struggled with how to retain their essential form of their Jewish identities while fully tackling the events of the secular world. I know we'll never have a Jewish president or James Bond, but hey, you know, Einstein and Levi's kind of beats it all. It wasn't so much the science that got me interested in Einstein. I'll be honest, my first connection to Einstein was from the Yahoo Serious movie. This film is stupendous for an 8-year-old. But it does a crime to Maria Skłodowska's Polishness. And there's no Brian Aspirin. Aspirin is a made-up word. Giving credit to the inventor is actually a hugely controversial debate. I'm on team Eichengroom. Sorry to tangent, but I could talk about aspirin as much as venom. Back to Einstein. My real connection in life to his work came from his collection of essays, Einstein on Humanism. In these pages is the voice of a guy with a live and let live attitude who thinks expressing yourself in a healthy and creative way is the most important right we have as humans. We've seen a lot of facets of Einstein, some realistic and some imagined, but the fact that he wore a leather jacket made by Levi's and chose this brand because it is what he thought of a representation of freedom, hot damn, sometimes the universe just comes together in harmony. This episode is a celebration of all that. I hope you enjoyed watching. Thank you, Patreon folks. Evan Gutierrez, right at ya. I'll be making a leather jacket playlist with a few more related details, including care tips, all the leather jackets, and the DS Durga episode. I'm Den. Thanks for watching Den and Denim.
Almost forgot. Of course it's a big E in my theorem. Small e is for exponential logarithms. Love your leather.